Not only is Roze overly copying the original anime, they're even copying their own episodes, because episode 6 copies the same format and moments from episode 3. I will be pointing this out during the video, as well as the Roze recapturing meter. Anyways, everyone was curious to learn how they were going to resolve the Democles falling from the last episode. Well, we get that answer in the first few minutes of the episode. Roze is able to take control of the Democles long enough to guide it to a safe location. Then she helps Haruka provide cover, allowing everyone to escape. Everyone lived, so it's intro time. Finally, something new happens in this one where they show the Artigia instead of the Artemis. After the fun intro, Kristoff comments that the whole thing was a waste of time.
That's just a fact.
Nara leaves first, then Kristoff leaves after telling Norlon that he's going to test his new toy on the soldiers who Sakya used Gias on in the previous episode. Then we go to the 7 Shining Star base, where everyone celebrates their success, giving the nameless mercenaries most of the credit. Oda learns, just like in episode 3, that Roze and Ash are taking some time off. But first, they see Nina off as she returns back to the Black Knight's base. Sakai informs Nina that she will remain at the 7 Shining Stars base to act as a liaison for the Black Knights. Back at the government office front shrine, Sakura uses reverse psychology to get Catherine to help the Japanese. During this, Catherine acts like how Alicia did with Nunnally when Nunnally was the Viceroy of Japan. They even reused some of the lines.
Please don't try to assert yourself.
Despite her feeble attempts to assert herself.
Anyways, Catherine gets pissed and asks Walter to protect Sakura during this time. After this, Roze is shown riding in the same car with Kuroto. Despite Kuroto reminding Roze that it's the anniversary of Jugo's death, Roze doesn't want to visit the grave. We also get a flashback showing Jugo and Sherry. Kuroto explained that Jugo was kind to everyone, regardless if they were Britannian or Japanese. And after Sherry died of some illness, Jugo joined her later on when a Neo-Britannian officer killed him. This makes Roze immediately remember what Ash told her earlier. Anyways, Kuroto drops off Roze at the Samari Cafe and agrees to move both Sherry and Jugo's graves together once this is done. At the Black Knight's base, Shiro explained that Sakai doesn't know Rose's true identity because she couldn't carry out her duties with that info due to her nature. Then they discuss moving forward with another peace delegation. This could only happen thanks to the 7 Shining Stars taking down the Democles. Just like in episode 3, the Black Knight meeting ends by showing us Sakya, who has once again removed her Roze disguise, allowing us to see her sleep practically naked. After waking up, she heads downstairs and is surprised by the amount of customers at the cafe. Roze then volunteers to get groceries, but May insists that she wears the maid outfit. While going out of the cafe to get groceries, she runs into Ash and the two go for a walk. Just like in episode 3, we get more development between Ash and Sakuya. In the middle of the conversation, Ash sees Nara and decides to leave Sakya to talk to her. Wait, I didn't say anything, but she does look great though. Ow! Before heading over to Nara, Sakya hands him a Samari souvenir, which is actually a device to allow her to listen in on this conversation. In the car, Ash and Nara point guns at each other and start talking while Sakya listens in. Ash confirms it has been 2 years since they saw each other. We will get back to that conversation later because now we have to go back to the government office because Natalia meets up with Walter, which what a coinky dink. They also haven't seen each other for over 2 years. We learn that both of their families took care of Sherry after she moved here. Walter brings Natalia to Sakura. The two discuss many things, including Sakya, who Natalia describes as a cat. They also discuss the Saz, and Sakura hopes to create more of those. The Saz was also mentioned, so back at the car, the conversation continues. Nara wants to know why Ash didn't contact her and betrayed everyone. Ash just deflects, wanting to know why she works for Norlon. Nara just says, you know the reason, but will tell us the reason later on. Nara is so determined to not hurt Ash that she'll help him relocate so they don't have to fight anymore. Ash, of course, refuses. Nara looks amazing in that lighting. It really captures the gold in her eyes and the redness in her hair. Ow! Totally worth it. During this, Sakuya does her Captain Marvel impersonation and steals someone's motorcycle to regain the signal. Her riding on the motorcycle reminded me of C2 doing that in stage 14, mostly because both characters wore a unique outfit and had pigtails. Back at the car, Nara tells Ash that Jugo's death wasn't his fault. Ash says it's not about erasing his sins, but rather honoring a vow he made. This time, Nara answers Ash's question on why she joined Norlon. Ready for this? Drum roll, please. Due to the rest of the world's discrimination against the Britannians, she chose to work with Norlon to make sure that the children from the Lavender House, the place she and Ash grew up in, have a safe place to live. There are issues with that, but that's a video for another time. Ash lets Nara know that she'll have to fight him and that Norlon won't keep his promises. He reminded her that Norlon adopted him and made him do horrible things. Nara then says she knows what his life with Norlon was like, and the two end up at an impasse, so Ash jumps out of the car. Nara looked amazing during the final part of that conversation. Truly perfect. Wait, but not as good as Cecile. Ha! I got you there. Ow! Anyways, Sakuya is surprised to learn all of this information. Then, just like in episode 3, Roze and Ash talk about how their day went. Both characters again don't discuss anything too personal. This time Ash says even less things, and all Roze can do is think about what she learned about him earlier that day. Remember earlier when Kristoff said he was going to interrogate the soldiers? Well, we finally see that. Through using the destroyed data on Gias, which could only have come from a few places, he was able to get the soldiers to admit he received orders to help the Japanese. I think that the Gias information must have been from Bartley. If so, this is now the second time they had to use that in a storyline. Then Kristoff sends in some random guy who reenacts the Phantom and stabs the soldier's eyes. This removes the Gias effect, allowing the soldier to reveal that a blonde person gave him the command. He dies shortly afterwards, and the person who killed him was none other than Arnold. So now we have this show's version of Jeremiah.
So I guess this proves I was right all along.
Then we go to the royal bath where Sakura is showing everyone the goods. In the original anime, Colin has a scene like this in stage 3, but you can only get a complete picture, if you know what I mean, with the Blu-ray release. I wonder if the same will be true for this. Then after taking the bath while putting on her robes, Walter surprises her. He claims that she's not a puppet princess, but actually Sakura something. I'm not even going to try to say her last name.
Sakura Haruyanagi no Miya?
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
This scene is obviously referencing Suzaku and Colin's encounter on Kamina Island, because Suzaku sees Colin naked, pins her down, and learns the truth. Walter sees Sakura partially naked, pins her against the wall, and reveals her lies. So there are some nice differences, but the general concept is the same. After the ending credits, we see the preview for the next episode/film. It starts with a scene of the Lavender House, including a young Nara and Ash. There's also this cute kid who smiles at Ash. Then a nun uses bed sheets to transition to the next scene, where Ash is walking out of the mansion after killing everyone in it. Norlon is shown smiling, and we see Ash walking further down the road after dropping the knife. Hope you enjoyed the recap. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know your thoughts on the 6th episode of Roze of Recapture. As always, while you're here, check out my reactions to the 6th episode, which you can watch
Right here.
Right now!